Hey everyone, Ben here from Audiologic. For this week's Tech Tuesday, we're going to be taking a look at the new version of Q-SYS Designer software, version 9. Version 9 is one of the biggest Q-SYS Designer releases to date, with loads more features and additions. First up, we've got the addition of 3 new cores, the Core Nano, the Core 8 Flex and the Core NV32. We've also got the addition of the new professional range of Q-SYS Reflect Enterprise Manager, which is the professional monitoring and management platform. And also loads of enhancements to Microsoft Teams incorporation. We're going to be going through all these features shortly. So let's take a look at the software. So one of the first things you'll notice when you boot the new software is that the Core i10F is no longer our default processor. It's actually the Core 8 Flex now. As the name would imply, the new Core 8 Flex has 8 channels that are assignable as either input or output, which makes it really flexible depending on your design. If I select the core over here and head to its properties, this is where you'll find the rest of the core lineup, new and existing. One of the big additions to the version 9 software is the new software-based Dante that is now available on all cores. Software-based Dante scales depending on the size of core you've got. So here in my design, I've got the Core 8 Flex, and you can see I can take my Dante channel count up to 32. If I was to change my core all the way up to the 5200, that's going to be able to go up to a maximum of 512 by 512 channels assigned in 64 blocks, of which I could do 8. The Core 510 can do 128 by 128 up to software Dante, and the Core i10F below can all do 32 by 32. It's worth noting that all new cores, bar the NV32, will ship with an 8x8 software license for free, and the rest of the channels are all licensable. Next up, we've got all the new enhancements and integrations for Microsoft Teams. QSC have put a load of work into getting certified for an entire Microsoft Teams room, and that's all based around a standard sample design built for Teams. If you haven't downloaded it already, head to Asset Manager, which lives down on the right hand side. Then you're going to find the Microsoft Teams sample design in which you can install. Once installed, you'll find it under your sample designs, so head to File, Open Sample Design, and then at the bottom of the list you're going to see Teams Sample Design. I've already got a copy open here. What you'll see, this is a really graphical interface, which is going to make programming a lot easier, especially for people that aren't familiar with Q-SYS already. All of the work has been done in the back end here, so that all the clever programming has already been done so that this can hit certification really easily. So because all of the clever programming has already been done for you, what this means is we've only got 7 very simple steps to walk through to actually get this room up to certification and commissioned. So I'm just going to go into emulate mode so I can start filling out some of these fields. With any Teams room certified system is going to be a package of products that you can't really deviate from, so it's a key that you've already got that package. First up, step 1 is we're going to give the room a unique name. I'm just going to call it Meeting Room 1. We're then going to select our speaker type, which is going to be something from the QSC Acoustic Design range. I'm going to select Ceiling. And then we're going to select, for step 3, our loudspeaker model selection. So I'm going to say I use the ADC4Ts because they're probably my favourite in the range. I'm going to say that all 4 of our outputs are using those speakers. What that's actually going to do behind the scenes is implement all of the tunings that are required for those speakers, so you don't have to do any manual adjustments or any EQ or anything like that. Step 4 is actually going to be the connection to the microphone. So in this package, that's going to be the Sennheiser TCC2 or the Team Connect Ceiling 2. First, we're going to enter the control IP address. So I'm just going to make that up because I don't have here with me. So it says 192.168.0.100. Choose the correct device from your list. That's going to be speaking with the Sennheiser controlled cockpit software. So you'll actually get a name of the device there. And then pick the audio output channel that you're sending out from. You'll then get a Dante receive status, and very important here is we're going to have to set up our AC return channel. So for our reference name, we can go something simple. We'll just call it Meeting Room 1 _ref. So that's our AC reference being sent back to the mic so that we're not going to hear, the far end isn't going to hear any echoes. Next up, we got step 6, which is something called webhooks. Webhooks may be a new terminology to some of you, and this is actually something that we can enable within Microsoft Teams. What this is going to do is if someone came into this design and tweaked any of the audio settings outside of what counts as certification, then you're going to send an alert message to an administrator on the system. All we need to do for this is copy the URL for that webhook, which Microsoft Teams will give you. Then anything that changes within this design, we can let an administrator know. So step 7 is the commissioning stage. And don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. QSC have created something called the Companion app, which is designed to be used whilst you're on a Teams call, so you can quickly fly through and change all of the settings to get the room commissioned. So you're going to be greeted by a welcome page. It's then going to take you through a few features such as your maximum volume in the room, the in-room noise reduction so you can work out the background noise and how much you need to strip out, making a test call to make sure audio is all routed correctly, in-core noise reduction and also HVAC noise removal, quiet talkers, so this is going to be tweaking our automatic gain compensation and a few other features like that to boost the quiet people and bring possibly down louder speakers. Residual echo suppression, if you've got a very, very reverberant room, then we can start stripping that back. Clicks and pops, and then finally finish. You're going to hit finish and it's going to take you back to the main page where it's going to say, congratulations, your Microsoft Teams room is now running as per certification, which we'll be able to see in the status up at the top. This system is using certified settings. That's as simple as it is. We're now ready to go for a fully commissioned, fully certified Microsoft Teams room. Last up, we've got the new Q-SYS Reflect Enterprise Manager integrations. So what Reflect and Enterprise Manager gives us is full remote and monitoring over our QSC systems, even when we're not with them there locally. Up in the top right hand side of my design, you can see that I'm signed in to QSC Reflect, shown by this little green LED. So if I now go to File, Load from Core and Connect, usually this would only show me cores that I've got locally here with me. And I don't actually have any cores here with me today. What I can see is the core that's in our boardroom, and I can also see the QSC UK offices as well, which I don't have access to currently. But let's take our boardroom. I can then load from Core and Connect. I've already got the design down here, and I'm now live into our boardroom without any physical connections other than web into the back of the core and my QSC Designer logged into the Reflect platform. So obviously this is really exciting. Suddenly I don't need to be leaving a small Nook PC on site to access via TeamViewer or a similar platform. Now I can actually just provide the internet to the core and then access it remotely. For anybody that's supporting sites, this is going to be a huge thing. I can also remotely access UCIs and everything like that. So it's going to be a really, really useful support tool. So that's pretty much the main features of Q-SYS version 9 covered. But if you go onto the website and then head to the release notes, you'll get a full copy of everything that's been added. There's loads of tiny additions in there, like an improved audio file manager, video mute sync and sleep modes for NV32 connected displays, and loads more stuff which I won't dive into today. Hopefully that's been a useful walkthrough of Q-SYS Designer version 9. Any questions relating to the software, the Teams integration, or anything else, of course, you can just get in touch with myself or the team, support@audiologic.co.uk. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.